And we welcome you to Talladega Superspeedway for the running of the Road and Plate Pomeranic Golf Series uh, second to last race of season number 8. As mentioned, it's at Talladega. What a better place, or what is a better place than this track right here for this race, where we move another race closer to the season finale and crowning a champion. I think this is going to be a fantastic race for sure. We saw these guys take on this track earlier in the season. It was a fantastic race, and I expect tonight is going to be no different. I'm Joshua Coppernoll. I'm joined by Adam Kuhn. Adam, how you doing?
Good evening, Josh. I'm doing well. Excited, as you mentioned, for another race at Talladega. Like you talked about, race already earlier this season here at this super speedway. But we also had a race not too long ago at all at the sister track to the speedway at Daytona. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun tonight to see another plate race here in the Road and Plate series, as it always is. It was a treat for me to be in the booth last time out in Daytona, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun tonight with all the chaos we always see. How different the sprint and the future are going to be tonight.
And we have 15 seconds left on qualifying. It is Aaron Smith who is currently on the pole. And I don't think anybody is going to be able to get it as the timer runs to 0. Checkered flag waving. Just waiting for the session to officially advance. And there it is. So we're getting ready to see the starting lineup. Maybe. Great pace car picture. Okay, there we go. And starting on the pole tonight, it is Aaron Smith. Daniel Foss is going to start in second. Third, Robert Brobst, Sam Stoner going to start in fourth. Fifth place, Sean Campbell. Laura Weissman will start in sixth. Seventh, Ryan Campbell and Jimmy Moore starts eighth. Ninth place, Tony Morano and Chuck Labano will start in 10th.
Dan Ott is going to start 11th with Benson Weaver alongside him. Jay Bass is going to start on row 7 alongside Evan Hoopchak in the 14th position, with Johnny Rapp starting 15th and Aaron Bray starting 16th. '17th is going to be Sean Johnson and Dustin Bawley, qualified outside of row number 9 with Tom Went 19th, and Brandon Carr rounds out the top 20.
Andrew White
And
will start 21st. "21 cars make up tonight's grid here in the sprint race of Talladega. It's going to be 16 laps around this 2.66 mile super speedway. For the sprint race, of course, we still have the feature to go right after the sprint race wraps up. Adam, who's your quick pick to win?
it's Talladega.
It is. But you had the pick at Daytona with Matt Slosher. I just want to remind you that. No, I had the pick at Daytona with Matt Slosher. That's right.
Yeah, thanks for rubbing it in.
Yeah, you're welcome. I've actually had the correct pick the last 2 weeks in a row. Of course, you weren't here last week.
Yeah, thanks for rubbing it in.
You weren't here last week, and it was the easy pick of me picking Aaron Smith.
I'll actually make a pick. I'll pick Jay Bass. I feel like I always pick him, especially on these types of tracks, but he is damn exciting to watch.
I'm going the Banana Man himself, Aaron Smith. He starts first. I think he's going to finish first.
Wouldn't be the first time we've seen it this season, but it's a lot taller task here.
Yep, that is for sure. This is a lot of, different animal than what these guys are used to with the road side of things. So it's not going to be easy for Aaron Smith to get it done. We'll see if he can as he's leading these guys inside the restart zone. Green flags out. We're underway at Talladega. And I think nobody went other than Aaron Smith. Look at the gap he has on second place already.
Might be an issue here as we head to turn 3 with too big of a gap as the field builds their momentum together. What line is the 70 going to stay in? He's going to stay down low, and it's going to give that outside lane a clear advantage into turn number 3. Fast is going to get a huge push from Samuel Stoner, but it's going to check them all up into the entrance of 3 and 4 here.
Daniel Foss staying on the bottom in front of Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith moves to the top in front of Stoner. Tried to, almost got put in the middle through the sucker hole. I think there was a little bit of patience there for Samuel Stoner.
Aaron Smith. That's patience we see on lap number 1, Josh, not coming to the checker.
Yeah, 100%. 15 more to go here in the sprint race, and I'm glad you said that. You know, this race not long at all, but you need to have a car to make it to the end. So great heads up by Stoner and really everybody around him as Smith trying to control the lanes here. Drifted up to the high lane, then went back down to the bottom. You got tight side drafting going on between Foss and Stoner for that second position. Stoner going to get to the outside of Smith. And that 84 right behind Stoner. Laura Wiseman. Wiseman really good at these racetracks as well.
Oh, for sure. Every time we head to these tracks, like you mentioned, in the mix is the 84. Believe won a sprint earlier this season. Could be wrong on that. At least in the mix.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought I was right on that. And like you mentioned, always up front, super aggressive too when it comes to these types of races. So you don't want to take your eyes off the 84 when Laura Wiseman's up toward the front of the pack.
Outside line with a little bit more momentum. Drivers kind of struggling a little bit though, but Aaron Smith retaking what he's had clear for the race lead. As we're going to be 3 wide. Wiseman to the outside of Stoner.
Jimmy Moore's going to stick with the 84 for the time being. Went right to the middle, just no momentum. Really up high, even with the 65 having no push there, Josh.
I think these guys are pushing the limit a little bit too much. They now are back to 2 wide, other than Laura Wiseman being on that outside line. Might get some help from Jade Bast. Laura Wiseman back in the line though.
Just a few rows ahead is the 65. Had the advantage over the 70 down the back straightaway. Big push from Jimmy Moore. Able to stay tucked up behind that 65. Able to get out in front just barely again. Is actually able to clear into the Tribal Boys, the 65. Gonna leave his dancing partner out there.
Jimmy Moore now on that outside line, on the outside of Aaron Smith.
And in 4 laps, Dustin Bally has cracked the top 5. He has come to the aid was going to say come to the aid of Jimmy Moore. Thought he was going to poke out a line, make it 3 wide there.
I thought he was too. Might be a little too tight there on the exit of, or through the center of the corner rather. Able to get it back down into line.
From 18th to battling for the lead here though, and just a handful of laps. Chuck Labano right behind that 24 car now.
Labano, another name that you need to keep an eye on up front at these plate style races. Oh, way wide! He caught the wall to Chuck Labano. And I didn't show the bracket before the start of this race, but I believe that it is. Oh. Is there some argy-bargy going on between Tony Morano and Brandon Carl? And how about Benson Weaver?
I believe that's what we saw earlier with Dustin Bally just getting tight through the center of the corner. Looked like Morano got tight, put Brandon Carter in the wall, and just ahead of him, Labano was in the wall himself. Completely separate incident. As Wiseman's going to push Jimmy Moore to the lead. No, he's not clear. Holy cow.
These guys are racing super aggressive right now, and I'm surprised we have not seen a yellow the way they've been racing. But I was going to say, as far as the bracket challenge goes, I believe it's Chuck Labano versus Laura Wiseman on one end of the bracket. And Aaron Smith, he still wants the race lead as he's going to take it by himself around Jimmy Moore.
That was a classic slingshot. Holy cow.
Laura Wiseman has help from Daniel Foss. Maybe that outside line a little bit separated. There is 8 laps to go. Moore looked like he was going to be... Yeah, he does. He goes to the middle lane and right back to the bottom.
Got the incident with Morano and Brandon Carter, OG. This is the real OG. The way Aaron Smith and Jimmy Moore are racing each other. Especially the last 2 laps.
Aaron Smith, he moves up high. Right back down to the bottom. It's interesting. Here comes Laura Wiseman. Wiseman on the outside of Smith. Oh, that bottom bog. Yeah, Stoner had a little moment there, I think. Kind of got down on the apron. I was surprised that that outside line really wasn't able to capitalize on it.
Speaking of, we don't know how, we haven't seen a caution yet. The back half of this field was 4 wide coming through the charioval last time around. Might have jinxed someone there, got it into the wall. Stay green for the time being. Dustin Bally is really wide back there.
Yeah, he is. Look at all this track position. He has lost. This guy's now catching up on Evan Upchak. Not sure what happened to him, but he was in pit road a couple of laps ago. James Moore, Jimmy Moore. I've done so good calling him Jimmy Moore. Tonight, old habits, I guess. But he is there on the outside, trying to get around Aaron Smith. He almost was clear of Smith. Caution. Ryan Campbell.
Outside Chuck Labano here. Wanda Weaver. Oh. Started in front of him.
Aaron Bray.
Aaron Bray caught the wall big time.
Andrew White. Oh, that 3 has a lot of damage.
Ryan Campbell were just bystanders there, and holy, I guess so.
Yeah, Aaron Bray just hard into the wall. Good heads up by Brandon Carl there in the 77. Wow. I can't believe they made it this far without having a caution the way they were racing at him.
That is for sure. And it's crazy. It was a big incident for those guys involved, but in the grand scheme of things, a small accident is what slowed the pace down.
Drivers coming down pit road. Not everybody, however. Looks like 4 drivers stay out. Everybody else coming down pit road. We'll see. Some drivers, 2 tires. See some 4 tires.
Tragedy here, like I mentioned at the top, it's always crazy at these plate races with these cars. I feel like one thing might work, but like staying out in any other restricted plate race, staying out is usually the way to go, track position. But we've seen already tonight how much handling matters so much.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just wondering with they're at 4 to go right now. They're gonna get 3 to go at the line to get them the 1 to green. Well, we're gonna have a 2-lap shootout, a natural green-white checkered, if you will. I think this was the right call of staying out. Top 5 drivers: Wiseman, Foss, Went, Sean Campbell, and Bally are the drivers that stayed out. Aaron Smith, to Brandon Carl were 2 tires. Everybody else, I believe, was 4 tires. So, I don't know. I like this strategy of staying out best right here in this scenario with only 2 laps to go. If it was longer, a little bit longer, maybe 5 when we get the green, I might say I like Aaron Smith or Dan Ott, who have those 2 tires. Maybe Sean Johnson, those guys. Um, but I don't know. We'll see. As lights on the pace car. Yep, they're out. So we'll line them up 2 by 2. They are through turn 2 right now, about to be on the back straightaway. I think it's about to be intense. Will Laura Wiseman be able to hold them off? Or will I be proved wrong? Will somebody on 2 tires, like Aaron Smith, make it up to the lead? are making their way off of turn number 4. Like I mentioned, it will be 2-lap shootout. Natural green-white checker pace car. It's heading to the safety of pit road. Laura Weisman, Daniel Foss, Tom Wendt, Sean Campbell, Dustin Ball, your top 5. Inside the restart zone they go. Green flags out. We're back underway. And what a jump by Daniel Foss. He has no help, though.
Yeah, Campbell did not get going at all. They're already 3 wide back. They're trying to get around him. Aaron Smith, one of those.
He's
oh,
trying.
Man.
Oh, man. They're 4.
They're 3 wide up front. Now, you mentioned Foss with no help. Dustin Bally went to the middle. They're 3 wide for the lead. And here comes the rest of that pack with a huge run.
Foss had no help. Dustin Bally, the race leader, could pull down in front of Laura Weisman. Does not do it. Weisman still on the bottom. Bally gets in front of Weisman. Weisman cannot peek to the outside. But here comes, well, James Moore now. Jimmy Moore, as he goes to the outside of that number 29, Dan Ott, white flag waving. Last lap here in the sprint race between Jimmy Moore and Dustin Bally. How about Aaron Smith pushing that 12?
How long is that going to last with the way we saw those 2 racing earlier? They got to first make way of that 24 if they can.
Keep your eye here on the 70 here as...
Oh, they
almost
got clear.
Jimmy Moore washes up. Here comes Aaron Smith on the outside. He's going to get a push from Dan Ott. Aaron Smith edging ahead. Going to get clear of Dustin Bally. Through the tri-oval, they're wrecking behind. Checkered flags waving. Aaron Smith is the race winner, and he's going to blow over as well as everybody.
Terrible wreck for Jimmy Moore after the finish. Just 0.03 of a second away from the finish there. I mean, from the win at the finish. Crazy chaotic end to that sprint race. Pretty much what we all anticipated when it was going to be a green-white checker.
I did not see Aaron Smith being able to win that race, but I was proved wrong, and he was my pick to win too. Incredible drive there by, I mean, everybody. But we are going to interview him. But first, Palmrack Golf delivers classic styles in a modern fit that allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the course to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmrackgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. And that is palmrackgolf.com. Let's get a word with Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith, hey, I've told you, this is a track where everybody is going to try to beat you, where the door is more open. But you continue to beat these drivers, no matter if it's on a road or one of these plate style races. Did you think you had it in you there with the kind of natural green-white checkered 2-lap shootout to the end?
Oh yeah, with those 2 tires, I was going to have to wait on the left side tires to warm up there in that last run. So I knew that I was going to have the extra rotation, but then the car ahead of me didn't go. I caved the nose in, and then I was 10th. So I had to drive back up there with Jimmy, and I didn't mean to ditch him going into 3 there. I wasn't sure where Dustin was going to go, if he was going to try to stick his nose under me or what, but shot it up to the outside, had cars behind me, and brought her home.
That was pretty incredible. You've got the feature event. You're used to this on road courses. Well, I mean, you know, it's getting to the point where it's being used to this on these plate races as well. But going to restart 10th, or, you know, start 10th. A little bit of a longer race. You know how to get it done, but what's it going to take here tonight?
I think I'll have to keep my nose clean here. If I'm going to have any shot at this championship, I'm going to have to win again tonight. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to focus on self-preservation, but if I have to get to the front to make that happen, then so be it. We'll see.
All right, sponsors, shout outs who gets it done for the banana man.
Yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks at Road and Plate for continuing to put up with me. It's going to come to an end after this season, but I've had a lot of fun, and we've got 3 more races to win, so let's see if I can do it.
All right, good luck to you in the feature. Maybe we'll talk to you again.
10-4, thank you.
That was Aaron Smith, your sprint race winner, here tonight as the warm-up is coming to an end. We're going to set the grid and go racing in the feature event.
We had a digger cam get run over there in the last couple moments.
All right, let's go ahead and get the starting lineup. Ryan Campbell, he's going to start in first. Johnny Rapp will start second. Robert Brobst third. Jay Bast fourth. Daniel Foss fifth. Dustin Bally sixth. Laura Weisman seventh. Dan Ott eighth. Jimmy Moore ninth. And Aaron Smith in 10th. Top 10 are inverted. 11th on back. Start where they finish, and that's going to be Samuel Stoner in 11th. Benson Weaver in 12th. Tony Morano in 13th. Tom Went in 14th. Sean Johnson 15th. Sean Campbell 16th. Brandon Carl 17th. Aaron Bray 18th. Andrew White 19th. Evan Hoopchak 20th. And Chuck Labano in 21st. And while I still have some time, I know it's not going to be a whole lot of time, we'll talk about it a little bit more at the end of the broadcast too, but some changes coming to next season, and that kind of starts with, well, you heard Aaron Smith talk about it. He's not going to be able to run next season. They are putting a iRacing cap that is grandfathering a lot of their drivers in, with the exception of Aaron Smith. What he's been able to do has been absolutely incredible, and these guys, they respect him a lot. I haven't heard drivers hating that he's been here, other than taking the wins away. But on the other end of things, that also there's more changes, and one is that they're switching broadcasters. It's going to be Slingshot Racing Media with Ellis Thomas broadcasting. I know he's had a relationship with Road and Plate before. He does an incredible job. I know these guys are going to be in great hands with Slingshot Racing Media. But that kind of opens up the door for me to step into a driver role. And I am excited for that. So I'm not going anywhere. Because I will be a driver next season. That'll be a lot of fun. And they're going trucking. The trucks are back. I don't have a schedule to show you. That's still being worked on. However, they do have a start date on April 16th. So that's only next month. Not a long time until that next season starts. So a lot of things to look forward to. Again, we'll talk about it a little bit more at the post-race show, as we're getting ready to head to the green for the feature event. The pace car rolling to pit road. Sean Campbell, Johnny Rapp, they are the front row. 32 laps here in the feature event. It is time for one of these drivers to get it done. The green flag is out. We're underway in the feature. Johnny Rapp got a really good start there. But Campbell and Brobst did a great job getting through turn one. Rapp with Bass now. They're powering on the outside. How about Aaron Smith already taking a third lane?
That's how that 70 looked in the last few laps of that sprint race off that green-white checker. doesn't have the tire advantage compared to everyone around him, as he does now, and he's driving like he does. 3 wide, outside, no help around him. Still gonna get door-to-door with Dustin Bally.
I don't understand how he could do what he could do. And Johnny Rapp moves to the race lead, pulls in front of Ryan Campbell. Oh, these guys washing up the racetrack. That was a 29 of Dan Ott getting really close to the wall. But here comes an outside line with Jay Bast and Dustin Bally. Rapp still leading. Brobes pulls to the outside. Here comes Brobes with help from Bast. Dustin Bally pulls down to the middle. Doesn't have enough momentum to actually make it 3 wide. Jay Bass, though, going to get it into the hole ahead of Daniel Foss, who moves up, moves back down. Now Brobst all by himself. At 24 coming and pulling to the outside. 3 wide. Dustin Bally going around the outside. Aaron Smith goes with him. Did Aaron Smith now stuck on that outside line as he has no help. Dustin Bally kind of floating out there, seeing where run's going to come. Ropes moves down to the bottom. Bally now going to get help from Ott. Ropes moves to the high line. I can't tell if these guys are trying to be wild or calm right now.
It's a little bit calmer than it was to start the sprint, I'll say that, but there has been some aggressive moments. Settling in right now, I think they're finding the rhythm as it stands. Just 4 laps complete here, Josh, a long way to go. You don't want to be in a situation, you always talk about it, where you have to use that fast repair early on.
Yeah, you want to save that fast repair. Dustin Bally gonna move up to the high line. I don't think by choice. Tony Morano fills that hole. And him and Aaron Smith both get around Dustin Bally, who's now falling back. Johnny Rapp still leading the race ahead of Ryan Campbell, Jay Bast. Drivers trying to get into the line single file except Aaron Smith. Tony Morano might be trying to help Aaron Smith. But for the most part, I mean, yeah, now we're single file. These guys, they're just want to take it easy. 26 laps to go. You know, these features, they're not very long themselves. But of course, they are longer than the sprint races. And you know, at this point, there's no point in really pushing too hard, Jimmy Moore. 3 wide. Oh my goodness.
He didn't like that. Tony Morano is using all the width of that car to determine what line he wants. Jimmy Moore's going to get back to his inside. Just in front of them, right before that happened, Aaron Smith was making a dicey 3-wide move of himself with Dan Ott, at least the other car. I'm not quite sure who the third car was, but he is making big-time hay on the outside, being that last car in line at the moment, catching up to the Taylor Wiseman. Just only 2 cars on the outside at that time, and Aaron Smith able to take advantage of it. As they try to get lined up here, he might be looking middle. No, he's going to stick with that 84 for the time being.
I
Which was
don't
not
know.
long.
Yeah, he's not going to force the issue.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
thinking about it, though.
Yeah. Jay Best. He's done a great job putting himself into position here. Now he might be side by side with Johnny Rapp.
Ropes pushed a little wide there, entering the corner. Thought that was going to get dicey with the outside lane.
Campbell, little offset of Johnny Rapp. Jay Bast has a nose ahead of Rapp. Rapp actually going to wash up. Is Rapp going to be able to get back down? He does. That kind of affects the outside line as well. Aaron Smith don't care. He's going to go to the outside. 3 wide. Still no help for that 70.
I wasn't sure if that was Johnny Rapp running wide intentionally to keep Bast wide himself, or if it was already that tire fall off, because that was interesting the way that kind of worked out to benefit Johnny Rapp, as Aaron Smith not able to make anything happen outside. Almost got in the quarter panel with the 53 there. They might go 4 wide here. Almost. Aaron Smith backed out of there, I believe.
You know, I'll tell you, I thought Rapp kind of washed up because of, you know, the tire fade, just getting a little tight. Not really having the grip there. I think a lot of these drivers might be struggling with that. Best scrapes the wall ever so slightly. Everything has gotten back to where it's calm for now. But just when I thought it got calm last time, Adam, it got crazy again. We know this can just change instantly. Aaron Smith, he does not want to just ride in line either. And I don't think Laura Wiseman does at all. Just watch the 84 and that 70. And I'm surprised that both of them, despite being it's just them two, that they're still up here trying to fight with Rapp, Campbell, Brobst.
They're aggressively racing on the straightaways here, trying to keep up, it looks like. Saw the 84 drag down onto the back straightaway alongside Brobst for a moment and then swing back up a little bit. Doing it just again, they're just ever so slightly before the tri-oval.
This is incredible. Wiseman is almost to the right rear of Campbell.
Oh, Brobst stepped out there a little bit through the center of the corner. I was about to say surprised. The rest of the pack really has faded away. Most of them catching back up here off of turn 2, but down the front straightaway, Josh, it was really only the top 8-9 cars or so.
I think drivers are really starting to feel those tires, and we know these guys are going to have to make one pit stop for fuel. But in a race like this, you would expect it to come under yellow flag conditions. We're not guaranteed a yellow.
Especially the way the field has settled in. Everyone's just minding their business. The back of the pack, for a moment, was all single file completely. Dustin Bawley and another car back that couldn't quite make out who that was, trying to make some momentum back up to get some track position. Looks like there might have been hoop check, and he has bailed on that. You mentioned Wiseman and Aaron Smith being aggressive at the front of the field, Josh, they have almost got to the quarter panel of Johnny Rapp there.
Oh, big wreck in the
On
back!
straightaway, and yes.
Andrew
Oh, it's
White
Bally.
dusted Bally.
And Bally took another big hit. That thing's destroyed.
How is
It
he
was
able to
already
drive that away?
destroyed. Might have just been these two cars here as we look. The last two cars in line. Darren Hart, Jeff Gordon. Oh.
Oh, man.
Oh. But there you have the engine go out in the 24.
Oh.
Maybe that was Andrew White's engine. Looks like the 3 car did not get back going.
Yeah, he towed. Wow.
It was everything we had talked about in the last minute out the window. But this is going to be interesting. The way this falls, pretty much halfway in the race, this is going to be busy, pit road.
I think it's 4 tires.
Oh, I don't disagree. I think it's going to be, for the most part, there might be someone opting on a different strategy like we always see in these races, but I think it's going to essentially kill the strategy here in this race. With the way this is halfway in the races, everyone's just going to make their bed now, and everyone's just, unless they get caught up in a wreck, you're not coming back down pit road the rest of this race. Long stops for all these guys.
Somebody took
Yeah,
to
someone.
Tom
Tom
Wentz,
Wentz.
Sean Johnson, Chuck
Chuck
Labano.
Labano. That doesn't surprise me, and it wouldn't surprise me if those guys are just going to commit to this for the last half of the race. And it also would not surprise me, Josh, if they somehow stay up front or if they get shuffled out really quick because of this.
Yeah, well, we had a similar situation at Daytona. And I realize Talladega is a lot wider, so it is easier to make 3 wide moves happen than Daytona.
But that's what I mean, Josh. Didn't some cars get shuffled out really quick at Daytona, and the guys up front were able to stay up there?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how I thought drivers were going to, like, all of them were going to just fall back. And I was proved wrong. Like, we had a lot of drivers still up front that did take the 2 tires, or I believe no tires as well. I don't know. I think Tom Wentz, Sean Johnson, and Chuck Labano might be all right as long as they can get into rhythm, get into line quickly. But otherwise, I don't know. I still like the 4-tire call. And I think that the 4 tires is what I would have done in this situation rather than trying for the track position on the 2.
I don't disagree, but the way they got to look at it this way. Yes, I know it's a plate race, but the old motto is you can't pass the leader by doing the same thing as the leader and following the leader. So they're just trying to do something here to get up front, get a ton of track position that they didn't necessarily had when the yellow flew. So it's a gamble, but I guess that's why you go to the casino.
I don't know. I'm not very good at the casino.
I wouldn't know. I've never been.
think I'm going to Money Keepers. I mean, Fire Keepers on Sunday. Maybe I'll win big. But it's far away from here. At Talladega. Tom went. Sean Johnson leading. I really am curious with how these tires are going to hold. The sprint race did teach us one thing, and it was that the tires really didn't matter, but it was kind of 2 tires against no tires. We have 2 tires versus 4 tires here. Going to be 15 laps to go when we go back green. I don't know. This track, I think it's wide enough that those 4 tires are going to be coming quick. So as mentioned, 15 to go when we take the green flag here. It's currently 16. This actually is halfway with 16 down, 16 to go. Pace car into the safety of pit road. Tom went. Sean Johnson, Chuck Labano, Johnny Rapp. First 2 rows. Inside the restart zone, green flag's out. We're back underway.
Like we've seen all night, big time wheel spin on the outside lane. Pretty decent start for the guys lined up right behind Sean Johnson, so it's able to keep him in contention here as we hit this turn 1. He's still side by side and even with Chuck Labano.
Big push. Down the back straightaway. Sean Johnson's going to take the lead with help from Johnny Rapp. Johnson actually pulls down to the bottom.
That was a big time bailout on the top lane. Easily going to make these 2 side by side off of 4 and give the lead back to Johnny Rapp, and he is cleared back. And he's ghosted out of here.
Not even a lap. And 4 tires got the lead there. Robert Probst, Aaron Smith. They all are up here, 14 to go. It's Rapp.
It's all over the back of Probst.
Rapp and Probst side by side for the race lead. You mentioned Smith all over the back of Probst. It's Johnson behind Rapp. Smith, actually, no, he does not want to be behind Probst. He wants to be beside and in front of.
Oh.
Here comes Jay Bass to help Aaron Smith. That bottom lane now has the run big time as Rapp gets the lead, or rather keeps the lead. Sean Johnson in second. Here comes Probst to the outside. Jimmy Moore going to be behind him in that 12.
And Smith bailed on the outside lane, went to the middle. We almost had a huge crash in the tri-over between these 2. Jimmy Moore gave Probst a big push. Unsettled him.
There it is.
Labano, huge flip.
And that's Laura Weissman.
My goodness.
Brandon Carl involved.
Dustin
that
Bollier got
24.
caught up in that.
And
We saw he was already destroyed. He used up that 1 fast repair, and this thing might be done for the night, Josh. As we see Labano somehow driving away from that. Maybe not under power, but driving away nonetheless. We look at the JCTV replay of Ryan Campbell into the back of Labano, and he was fishtailing for a long time there, Josh.
I don't think Chuck Labano was driving away. I think he just still had power and now apparently doing unlegit things to the pavement. But yeah, he ended up towing to pit road.
Tried to coast back. It's a very valiant effort to almost get there. What is happening here?
Pacing?
That close?
I guess. They're wanting to go.
Oops, my left foot slipped.
I was gonna say, I saw some bumping and banging. Oh, Aaron
No.
Smith!
No way.
Oh my gosh! Evan Hoopchak also.
The last second. I don't hate this.
I don't either.
The only thing is it puts him back into the danger zone. But when you're Aaron Smith and you've won this many races this season, why not, I guess?
It was a right side tire call for Aaron Smith, which makes sense. Left sides are not that old. 7 laps and you've done how many under green? So I
2 or 3, maybe.
yeah. I think the right side tires, well, I know the right side tires matter more at a place like this. I don't hate that call. He's buried now in the field. He's not going to really have any help behind him. Evan Hoopchak, however, I like that Aaron Smith at least does have somebody else with him with the same strategy. Evan Hoopchak actually 4 tires. This is going to be interesting.
You might like that he's got someone on a similar strategy to him, but he might not like it now that he's got to think about the 7 car in his mirror.
I mean, this, yeah, as a driver, it can be a little frustrating thinking you're going to have the advantage with the tires, and you got somebody else with you in the same strategy. But they could work together, and it might be easier for them to make moves as opposed to other drivers. I don't know. Aaron Smith, he keeps proving me wrong. We'll see how this goes for Aaron Smith. His lights on the pace car are going to go out. We got the 1 to green signal. It's 10 to go. And it will be 9 when they take the green flag. These guys are hitting the pace car. Actually, inside the pace car, Robert Robst is 1 with the pace car. Sean Johnson, I think, trying to be 1 with Robert Robst. Adam, who are you watching here? Who do you think can get up to the front?
Yes. Aaron Smith for sure. Definitely going to be watching how these guys at the front of the pack are racing, because they've been aggressive the last few laps. It's man, it's crazy that we only got 18 cars on the lead lap after all this. Even though we really haven't had a big one. We had that huge crash from Chuck Labano, but still. A lot of cars running, but it really did not hurt Aaron Smith that much in terms of the running order. So I think he's got a great shot still here, Josh.
I think you're right. We'll see. We'll see how it goes for Aaron Smith as they are inside the restart zone. Green flag back out. How about Rapp going quickly and Brobst not expecting it? Johnny Rapp and Jimmy Moore. Few car lengths ahead of Robert Brobst, but Brobst's going to be able to get the draft up to that 12 very quickly.
Yeah, those two were gone, but they just could not stay hooked up, and you mentioned the 5 is going to have a huge tow here. Doesn't take it because he caught him in the entry of the corner. Jimmy Moore's going to defend like crazy, though.
Here comes Sean Johnson on the outside. He's going to have, I think that's Ryan Campbell in the 18. I do believe that is who that is. There, yes, it is. Ryan Campbell. Sean Johnson.
Jay Bass, quite a few co-links behind, but the next car in that line.
Jay Bass now up there. You mentioned Stoner. Not too far behind Bass.
You mentioned Sean Johnson up front. He just went to the lead. He is clear. He's going to stay up top for the time being. Does he fade low in the corner? No, he does not, and he's run out of time.
I think he likes the top better. And quite honestly, I'm not so sure I blame him other than that little loose.
I don't disagree with that either, Josh. That did look a little sketch too. But that's something we haven't seen all night. For the most part, every time someone's been cleared to the lead up top, they've immediately gone low. Now, he has gone low in the entrance of turn 1. Is he going to work both lanes, or is he finally now bailing after half a lap?
Johnny Rapp peeking. He goes. Johnny Rapp to the outside of Johnson now, and it's going to be Ryan Campbell pushing Rapp.
Puts Jimmy Moore to second on the bottom lane here. He's been aggressive, especially on the pushing this run, pushing Johnny Rapp there to the lead early on this last restart. Here comes someone I don't think we've talked about since the sprint race, Samuel Stoner, in 4th on the outside lane.
Stoner, yeah, he's had kind of a quiet feature. He wants to get up front, though.
Same with the car. He's alongside Benson Weaver, who has been right here since the restart. Quietly there, 4th on the inside, right behind Brobst, as a lot of cars get squirrely there off of turn 4. Here comes the 70, Josh.
Just casual 3-wide drive on the outside for that 70. Aaron Smith.
Got no help there, and it's eaten up that outside lane's momentum completely. Looked like he finally got a drafting partner, but I believe they almost took down the fence. Was that Daniel Ott?
I think that was. And now, single file.
This is the calm before the storm. Oh man, Sean Johnson just got left out to drive for a moment. Here comes Jimmy Moore, leaving that bottom lane, gonna bring Brobst with them. Oh no, Robert Brobst is gonna push really wide there for a moment.
We have 4 laps to go. Brobst pushing more hard. They have Johnson as well on that outside line. Rapp kind of washing up the racetrack just a little bit.
Jimmy Moore was hugging him tight there to that bottom lane.
Three laps to go. Johnny Rapp still leading. Moore on the outside. Aaron Smith starting to make moves. He realizes his time is... Well, Brobes got into the wall a little bit there, but Smith realized his time is running out. Trying to make something happen as quickly as he can.
Johnson in the wall. It's gonna almost force the issue there. Gonna end up getting stuck behind Jimmy Moore, who was kind of like a pinball down the back straightaway there, to be honest, with everything happening behind and then around him. As it's single fire again up front. No, not for long. Samuel Stoner to the outside there, Jay Bast, for the the third position. This pack, as you see here, is really dissipated and split up.
Campbell peaks. 3 wide. Moore all the way on that outside line. He's got Smith behind him helping. We just saw this in the sprint race. Oh, contact!
Oh, no.
Stoner! Oh, big wreck. Caution is out before they could get the white.
Wow! Samuel Stoner. Huge hits. He's still getting wrecked. Right in front of the pack. He's lucky he didn't get hit more times than he did, slamming back into traffic like that. Unfortunately, Aaron Smith, of course, was one of them. He had nowhere to go at all. So we look at the JCTV replay here. Jimmy Moore just driving down the track, and Stoner followed him, and there was a car low. How did Foss miss that? Another near miss, Brandon Carl. I guess he didn't get hit. It was the wall he was ricocheting off of. How?
And Aaron Smith had to tow to pit road. Just riding on board Brandon Carl. Oh my goodness.
I want to see the onboard from the 83 as well, because that was close on Foss.
Oh.
Oh my. Those guys that had become the second pack were really so lucky not to get involved in that, and this was only a 2-car crash. A very violent 2-car incident, but nonetheless just 2 involved. Take it back to the back straightaway here. Really think it starts with Jimmy Moore here, just trying to just fade down low and control these 2 lines here, Josh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, he just... That's not the car, but... I think you're right. Just try to get in the line, to control another line, and just result in that accident. This does put us in a GWC, and I'll take a look at the bracket. I mentioned earlier Laura Wiseman and Chuck Labano racing each other on one end. You also have Dan Ott and Tony Morano on the other side of that. Wiseman and Labano, both. Labano has been riding around. Actually, was the free pass there that last for under this caution. So Wiseman is 20th. Labano is currently 17th, but on the lead lap. Labano can gain a ton of positions, and I do believe it is your finish position or total points earned from the sprint race and the feature event together. Wiseman did have a pretty strong sprint race. So that could be pretty interesting how that comes down to Wiseman and Labano. And Morano is P6. Ott currently 13th.
That one's going to shake up a lot here.
I'm sorry?
That one's going to shake up a lot here, I think.
Oh, yeah. I actually was down pit road for 4 fresh tires under this caution. Moore, Sean Johnson, and Chuck Labano were all down pit road under this caution. Lights on the pace car are out, so we're going green this next time by. It will be a green-white checker. So if you're going to make something happen, you need to make something happen ASAP. The field is entering turn number 3. Johnny Rapp pulled them off. Ryan Campbell get a good restart with Benson Weaver. Will it be somebody else? Can Dan Ott, with the 4 fresh tires, restarting 13th, make his way up front? Pace car going to make its way to the safety of pit road. So we turn these guys loose one more time at Talladega for the final oval of the season. Still 1 race left after this. Inside the restart zone, green flags waving. Back underway. Rapp got a pretty good start. Campbell jumps behind Rapp. Everybody getting up to speed. Campbell staying in line behind Johnny Rapp. Robert Brobst on the outside. He's by himself. Can he get help? Off turn number 4. Down the front straightaway.
Still by himself is that 5.
I'm very surprised he's still side by side. This white flag comes out. Last lap at Talladega. Brobst finds a hole. He's going to take it. Some guys making moves. I'm surprised they're single file here. Does Campbell make a move? Does Bast make a move? Off turn number 4. They're wrecking behind. We stay green. Campbell not going to make a move. Through the tri-oval. Checkered flag. It's Johnny Rapp winning at Talladega.
That's an awesome win for Johnny Rapp. Be up front most of the race as we have huge chaos, I'm assuming, behind and absolute devastation. But it's all about Johnny Rapp because he led a lot tonight, Josh, and what a drive to the finish there. Everyone pushing him.
Yeah, that was a great finish, great race. I'm surprised that it got single file though. Nobody, uh,
Absolutely.
nobody was really making a move up front, and you could tell Campbell was committed to Rap. Campbell uh, wanted Rap to win this race, and it's hard to have one right there, but to help somebody else win, that's. Or maybe he didn't even think he could do something. I'm not sure, but didn't make the move, and that allowed Johnny Rapp to win, as he is gonna burn him down. And the best taste in donuts are right there in Talladega.
Donuts go best paired with barbecue, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think you and I have the same idea of donuts.
This dude over here has never heard of a joke.
But you know what is paired pretty good? And that is you and Palm Rack Golf, as they deliver classic styles in a modern fit that allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the course to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmrackgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. That is palmrackgolf.com. Let's take a look at our unofficial race results before we jump into interviews. And it is Johnny Rapp with the race win. Ryan Campbell brings it home in second. Jay Bast third. Robert Ropes fourth. Benson Weaver fifth. Tony Morano sixth. Jimmy Moore seventh. Evan Hoopchak eighth. Tom Went ninth. And Dustin Bawley. What a night he had. He brings it home P10.
Danot finishes in 11th with Aaron Bray, 12th Brandon Carter across the line, and 13th Sean Campbell, 14th Sean Johnson, 15th. Then we get to Chuck Labano in 16th, Daniel Foss in 17th, involved in that last lap incident, along with Aaron Smith, 18th Samuel Stoner, 19th, and Lori Wiseman did not finish in 20th, with the 21st place finisher tonight being Andrew White, involved in an early accident. He was unfortunately done for the night after that.
Adam, I'm going to let you talk to Jay Bast here, a third place finisher.
Hey Jay, it's the guys in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's going on? Did you enjoy the show as much as we did?
Nah, I'm sure we did. What was it like from the driver's seat there? Not yet at that green-white checker, just before that, because that was wild racing all around you. You were right in the midst of it.
Yeah, I just kind of, keep my eyes closed on these super speedways and just kind of hope for the best, really. So, yeah, I don't know, it kind of worked out that time. Shout out to Ryan and Johnny. They did an awesome job bringing home 1 and 2. But I'll be honest, we did a little bit of collusion there at the end. There were definitely a couple folks that we didn't want to get mixed up in the white flag. So just wanted to keep that train of Johnny, Ryan, and myself alive for that checkered finish, and it came home, worked beautifully. So yeah, super happy with that.
Worked beautifully with a clean sweep of the podium. Overall, how did the night go for that number 53 machine? Because it was up front a lot in that sprint race after a lot of crazy wrecks all night.
Yeah, man, these 87s are definitely a handful on the super speedways. You're driving them real hard. Tire wear is a huge factor. So it was cool to see everybody. A couple folks took 2 tires in that midway pit stop, but most everybody took 4. And yeah, it's just cool to see tires be an actual factor in these races, and definitely inhibits your run towards the end of the stint where you just try to turn in and you just shoot up straight to the wall. And especially if you've got a car in front of you and no air on your nose, you're done for. So managing that and being able to hang on to the runs and push the car ahead of you when you need to and back off when you need to it's a fun game.
Back to that green-white checker to the finish. What was it like trying to be the first line of defense there? How stressful was that, trying to manage the push to Ryan and then trying not to let anyone get a toe on you there, or too big of a run?
Yeah, exactly. It's that's one of the first times that I've really tried to do that level of collusion and have the top car drop in to the bottom line and give that space. But yeah, it worked beautifully. Went off without a hitch. That beautiful 18 Eagle car just slotted right in there, and yeah, we brought it home, clean sweep of the podium, like you said. It was mission accomplished.
Who do you want to shout out and thank to get you here on the podium tonight at Talladega?
Yeah, quick shout out for Itty Bit Better, ittybitbetter.com. They're actually at a conference in Seattle this week, so more fun content on the Itty Bit Better Discord and on the LinkedIn as well. Shout out to EV Part Picker and Homebrew Auto, as well as Formosa EV as well. And huge shout out to TW3 Liveries. Tom Went does an awesome job painting so many of these beautiful 87 cars, and he's going to be real busy when next season rolls around too, with some announcements in the pipeline there. I don't know if that actually all went public yet, but yeah, TW3 does an awesome job. Yeah, thanks to Dustin Bawley for putting everything together, Evan Hubchak, Pomrat Golf, and the UNO podcast as well for sponsoring that bracket. And you folks over at JCTV as well, you do an awesome job. And yeah, thanks for bringing the show to everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed it as much as we did.
Of course, thanks for your time, Jay. Good luck next week in Adelaide.
Thank you.
That was our third place finisher tonight at Talladega Super Speedway, Jay Bass with number 53. Josh, are you going to take second?
I am. And I got Ryan Campbell. Ryan, Jay let the cat out of the bag that you guys were just going to stay in a single file train there at the end. So I got to ask, how hard is it to, have the lead right in front of you, knowing you're coming to the checkered flag, and not really take any kind of run to see if you could win it?
I didn't want to risk spinning out, taking out Johnny. I was pretty happy with my finish. Anyone else near me in the championship points was pretty far back, so I was happy to finish second. And I pushed Johnny for the whole race, pretty much. So I was happy to push him to a win.
Yeah, you guys did a fantastic job overall. And that was, I think, pretty good strategy, too. Being in a train like that makes sure nobody else is able to take it away. It's a great podium sweep for you guys. But this race, I mean, it was chaotic and it get calm, and then it get back to being chaotic. How is that for a driver when all of a sudden it seems like a single file train, but then straight into 2 and 3 wide for a couple of laps?
It's definitely a bit crazy, especially with these cars. If you got a car in front of you, you lose the front pretty bad going into a corner. So turn 3 was terrible at this track. You'd push up really high. The inside line would push up almost into the middle coming into 3. So if you were 3 wide going down the backstretch, you were trying to find a hole to get out of there.
Were you worried about tire wear at all? I know we have had a couple of plate races already this season. Already won at Talladega earlier, and Daytona just a couple of weeks ago. So a little bit of experience, but were you worried about tire wear tonight?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, as long as they do wear and it does affect everything, but as long as you can hang on, generally there's a reason for a caution at some point, and then you can pit for tires and go back at it.
All right. Well, sponsor shout outs. Who gets it done for you?
Tom Went, TW3 Liveries. He makes my paint, and I think about nearly 70% of the field. So he makes some good paints.
All right. Well, congrats on the podium, and we'll see you next week at Adelaide.
Yes, sir.
That was Ryan Campbell, your second place finisher. And Adam, I believe you are in victory lane with Johnny Rapp.
Hey Johnny, it's guys in the booth. You got a copy?
Absolutely. What's happening?
Not much with us, but you're doing pretty good. What was it like, first of all, in that race with these 87 cars? All night you were up front trying to control the lanes, and there was a lot of chaos behind you. And like Josh just mentioned, talking to Ryan, sometimes they would calm down and then pick right back up.
Man, I'll tell you, and this is not me gloating at all. I didn't know how chaotic it was. They were just talking about it a little bit, and I was just focused up front. I had Ryan Campbell pushing me, just hitting my lines, and whatever happened behind happened. Definitely didn't plan it out that way. I luckily got through the wreck at the end of the heat, put myself up to starting second place, and just assumed the lead and kind of, man, like I said, not according to plan, but that's just where I was, so I rode with it.
No, that's a perfect answer because you were up front majority of the race. What were you thinking there after that caution, and we had a little bit of split strategy with those guys taking just right sides?
If it's the caution at the end, I didn't think they would have enough time. There was enough people that had stayed out that I thought we were going to be okay to race it out for the lead with everybody that stayed out. But yeah, I don't know how close they got, but those tires did mean quite a bit. And yeah, I was more worried about Ryan and Jay getting hooked up on the top and leading me out to dry. But hey, they decided to push me instead, and definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, what's that mean to have two guys committed like that, not letting anything happen in a green-white checkered finish, to secure a whole clean sweep of the podium for all three of you?
Yeah, hey, it's a little humbling, you know. I haven't been racing here too much. I have pushed Jay to a win here before, so maybe a little payback there. I appreciate it, and yeah, I mean, if Ryan's up here fighting for the points, I don't think he wanted to risk a record or something coming to the end. So either way, it was a good little battle there, and I was ready for it. If he was going to step out, I was ready for it, but he didn't, and I appreciate it.
Well, who do you want to shout out and thank to get you here in victory lane at Talladega?
Well, first and foremost, you guys for putting on the show. Always like to go back and watch them. You guys do a great job, and yeah, it's Dustin for putting on the league, Pomerac Golf for sponsoring, UNO for I believe partially sponsoring coming up here. We appreciate Jimmy and Evan helping out the league here, and everybody that shows up. It's a great community here. I always say it, and man, it's a tight knit community. It really is. You go in the text chats all week long. Somebody's talking about something. Everybody's kind of got each other's back, and it's kind of rare to see nowadays. Cool thing we got going here.
Absolutely. Congratulations again on the victory tonight, Johnny. Good luck next week at Adelaide to end of the season.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you to Johnny Rapp for his time. Congratulations again in victory lane at Talladega. The winner here for the penultimate race of the season in Road and Plate, Josh.
Yeah, that was really incredible. Great win for him and you know, for the team as well. It really seemed like it was a team effort tonight as he's about to go through the point.
Oh no. No, Johnny, don't do it. Don't do it, Johnny.
Do it, Johnny.
No, Johnny.
Oh man, he's trying. But you know, one thing that he said in his interview is that this is a tight knit community, and these guys, they, you know, I think that is one of the biggest things that I have really enjoyed about Road and Plate is how everybody there's not really the drama that you have in other leagues. These guys, they all respect each other a lot, and I'm not saying that there isn't sometimes issues between a couple of drivers, because it happens. It's going to happen, but these guys, they have raced with each other. For the most part, it's been the same core group that we have broadcasted and watched race for since we've been brought on as broadcasters. And I think that's just what has made Road to Plate so enjoyable, is not only do these guys respect each other a lot, they also know how to race each other clean and hard, and it has made the on-track product fantastic. And we talked about it briefly. I am going to miss being the broadcaster of this series after this season is over. We're still broadcasting until the end of the season, which is only one more race left with Adelaide. So it's next week. Still tune in here to JCTV. But I am so grateful that I have been invited to be a driver, and I was going to ask if I could race, but Dustin beat me to that. So I'm really grateful for that. And Adam, I'm hoping you join us in racing as well. I know we've kind of talked about that. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to still be around Road and Plate in the future. You definitely have to get through Adelaide first, and I don't know a thing about that track. Adam has made fun of me for not even knowing where it was a month ago. So it's in Australia, by the way. So we're going to Australia, finish out the season, and points are tight. Dustin had the points updated already, and Dustin leads the points with 380 points. Daniel Ott is second with 379 points. Ryan Campbell is third with 377 points. 3 points separate the top three. Joseph Klein, he's got 365. He's 15 back. And then you get to Jay Bass in fifth, who's 64 back, and then it just starts getting wider and wider by the margins from there. So the points battle for the championship, it's going to, Adelaide is going to become a race where these drivers need to fight for everything they can to get those points if you're the top three. I think it's going to be a lot of exciting for the drama of the points, but also just because these guys make every race exciting, and so I'm looking forward to it. I don't even know what the track looks like. Adam's laughing at me right now, probably. So we're gonna have fun learning that and watching these guys race at Adelaide. Talladega's been fantastic, and I am grateful for another show that was just super awesome for us to commentate. So I think that's going to do it from us here at JCTV at Talladega. But again, tune in next week right here on JCTV for Adelaide for the season finale of season number 8. And on behalf of Adam Kuhn and the entire outstanding crew at JCTV, I'm Joshua Copperl signing off. Saying so long, stay safe, and we will see you next time. Take care.